Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Road to the Show. I hope you had a nice Valentine's Day. You can see that the Rockies are 9 games out of the wild card spot, and I skipped over the last series that the Rockies played against the Brewers because the Rockies lost 2 out of 3. But the thing that was weird is I only played in one of the games. One of the games they sat me out completely. I didn't even make an appearance. And another one of the games I got one pinch hit at bat. And it was just a bad series in Milwaukee. So losing 2 out of 3 to the Brewers, which the Brewers aren't exactly a tough team to beat. I mean, they're a team that I should have been able to sweep them. So that was a real big setback here, especially with only about a month left to play. There's a home run. So I'm taking on the Nationals now. And 9 games back in the wild card with a month to play is a pretty tough spot, to be honest. So I think what I might do here coming up is I might play out the rest of September, and then if the Rockies get eliminated, I might just kind of fast forward ahead a little bit because, I mean, I'm not going to want to show series that are meaningless. I would rather just get this season over with if we're not going to make the playoffs, and then go into the offseason, maybe see if I can get traded to a different team because the Rockies just tore everything apart. They gutted their roster of their pitching, and all their good hitters they have are gone. So I'm going to see what the offseason brings if I am eliminated. I mean, I'm going to have to probably win like 25 out of the last 30 games to make the wild card at this point. There's another home run, by the way. So I'm 3 for 3 in this game, and it's a 3-3 game right now in the 8th inning. So I'm looking to break the tie here. There's another foul ball. Some kind of bad news around baseball today. Alex Reyes, the number 1 prospect with the St. Louis Cardinals, looks like he's going to miss the whole season with Tommy John surgery. So, I mean, that's going to help out the Pirates a little bit because the Cardinals are always a thorn in the side of the Pirates in terms of the standings. But you always hate to see a good prospect like him go down. And, hey, there's a home run. So the Rockies take the lead here 5-3. And the other piece of bad news today was Ron Gardenhire, who most of you might know as the former manager of the Minnesota Twins. He's now the bench coach of the Arizona Diamondbacks, but he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, so keep him in your thoughts, and hopefully he recovers quickly. And now we're on to Game 2 here at Nationals Park. Nationals Park, by the way, is not that far from PNC Park. Takes me about 4 hours to get to Nats Park, more or less. And the nice thing about Nationals Park is that it opens at 4:30, so you get to see the entire Nationals BP. And you also, of course, get to see the visitors. But Nationals Park has become more and more militant over the years. I don't know if you watched my videos from Nats Park this year, but the ushers are always on someone's case. I mean, you can't even touch the glass out in center field, like the partition that separates the seats from, like, the gap in the behind the outfield wall. Like, they go crazy if you even touch the glass. It's actually pretty ridiculous. I actually had one of my more serious run-ins at Nats Park. My last game at Nats Park, you probably saw that the usher came and yelled at me and wanted me to go to guest services because he wanted me to turn in my ball retriever, and it was a big problem. So basically, I self-ejected myself and left the stadium rather than handing over my ball retriever. And I had another incident, maybe I want to say in 2010. Back then I used to use the glove trick, which was invented by Zach Campbell. I mean, it works, but in the past couple years or so, I've invented my own ball retrievers that I feel work more efficiently than the glove trick. But anyway, so what happened was over in right field back in 2010, there was a ball sitting it was a home run ball from batting practice. It was sitting maybe like 20 feet below the where the seats are, and I saw it, so I rigged up my glove, put the rubber band over the tip, and put the pen in to keep the glove propped open. And I started lowering my glove down, and all of a sudden this grounds crew guy just pops out from, there's kind of like a cutaway down there where I guess the bench is, or there might have been a bathroom or something, but he just popped out of there and he grabs my glove and starts like yanking at it. So basically, me and this grounds crew guy get into a tug of war, and he won't even talk to me. I'm trying to reason with him. I'm like, all right, I'm not from here. I'm from Pennsylvania. I didn't know this wasn't allowed. Can I please have my glove? Can you let go? I had the string of my glove tied, well, not tied, but wrapped around my wrist, so I had a really good hold on it, and he was pulling really hard. It was actually pretty ridiculous how he reacted. I was actually thinking about letting him just pull me right down, and I could fall and probably have a lawsuit on their hands. The Washington Nationals would. It was so overdone. But he started like trying to tear at my glove, and eventually he took out his keys and started like sawing away at my string. And after like 5 minutes of this, he eventually was able to sever the glove and sever the string. And he got my glove, and meanwhile the police were called over and everything. And basically I had to get my glove back from the head of security or whatever at NATS Park, but it was just ridiculous. And ever since then, I've never used the glove trick again at Nationals Park. I'm not going to put my glove down there and risk that whole situation again. Like, yeah, I'll take my little retriever that I made. It only costs like a couple bucks to throw down there real quick. Maybe every now and then I'll try that. But I don't want to lose my glove. I've had my glove since I was 14. That last game was a complete blowout, by the way, so sorry for talking over all the action, but there wasn't really a lot of like high drama situations. So I was kind of ranting about Nats Park there for a little bit. Also, you probably know Zach Campbell. He's another ball hawk. He's got a lot more exposure than me, but he had an issue with Nats Park where I think he was ejected because he was accused for selling baseballs because he lined them all up out in the hallway of like the ritzy club area and was taking pictures. It's just crazy there. So despite Nats Park being only 4 hours away and opening at 4:30 and everything, I would actually probably rank it or rate it in the bottom half of all the stadiums that I've been to. All right, well, anyway, I just got one training point, so big whoop. The score of Game 3 is 3-0, and it's already the 5th inning, so this game is moving along quite quickly. Hope everybody had a good Valentine's Day. I mentioned that already. Just a quick story about Valentine's Day. I actually proposed to my wife on Valentine's Day at PNC Park, and you might think, oh, that's typical. Well, actually, I met my wife at PNC Park from ball hawking. I mean, that's probably a story for another video because this game's almost over. Wait, of course I just made a really awful error. So the Nats might get back in the game here. But just real quick, I almost ran my wife over on opening day 7 years ago because I was racing my friend Nick to be the first one into the ballpark to look for baseballs. And she worked there. And basically her first experience as an employee of PNC Park was me sprinting at full speed, which is probably maybe 7 miles an hour or whatever, right past her on the ramp running towards the bleachers. That was the first time she saw me. And I mean, I guess I'll save the details for another video because this is getting kind of close now. It's 5-4. The Nats are back into it. They're one swing away from tying everything up. Now it's the 9th inning with 2 outs, so I can maybe give myself some insurance right here if I can just get it out of the ballpark. Let's see. It looks like I'm facing Oliver Perez here. And that's going to be close. Sometimes he's one sneak over the fence, and he's going to catch it right on the warning track. So 5-4 in the 9th inning. Jason Mott's going to come on for the save here because the Rockies traded away Jake McGee with all their other good players. So I get to try to make a play. Hopefully I don't mess this up. And I'm not going to get there, I don't think. That's a base hit. I could have probably dove for that ball, but then I would have risked it getting past and being a double. And I don't want to have a guy on second base here, but he's getting to second anyway, it looks like. There's 1 out, runner on second base. And now the big guy's up, Bryce Harper. So I'm going to back up a little bit because Harper's got power all over the place. And he's going to... I can catch this. There's 2 guys on base. No, 1 guy on base. Sorry, I saw Harper's guy was still alive there for a second. So there's 2 outs. And, wow, I'm going to have to make 3 plays in the 9th inning, so they are really making me earn this win here. Ryan Zimmerman's up. By the way, Ryan Zimmerman, what happened to him? He might lose a lot of time because the Nationals just signed Adam Lind. He just really had his career turn south. And that's the ball game. So that's a sweep of the Nationals, 3-0. The manager there is pretty happy. Let's see where I'm at in the standings here after all the handshakes are done. 5-4. All right, here we go. I'm now, 8.5 back, so I barely even moved. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. And once again, happy Valentine's Day.